Hello, Wide Real News viewers. Welcome back to our platform where we keep you informed on critical stories from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and stay updated with our exclusive, well-researched content. Today, we dive deep into a story that's creating waves across East Africa, the recent arrest and military trial of Uganda's opposition leader, Kizza Besigye, following his alleged abduction in Kenya. Kizza Besigye, a politician's fight for justice. Kizza Besigye, a prominent Ugandan opposition figure and a former ally turned rival of President Yoweri Museveni, has once again found himself at the center of political controversy. Besigye, who was attending a book launch in Nairobi, Kenya, was reported missing on Saturday. Days later, he surfaced in Kampala under heavy security, facing charges before a military court. Besigye's wife, Winnie Byanyima, a human rights advocate and UNAIDS executive director, accused Ugandan authorities of orchestrating his kidnapping. She expressed outrage on social media, questioning the legality of detaining a civilian in a military facility. Besigye was charged with 4 counts, including possession of illegal firearms and negotiating to procure arms abroad. His co-accused, Ejlutel Kamulijia, a close ally, was also detained. Both have denied the charges, with Besigye insisting he should be tried in a civilian court, a demand rejected by the court-martial. A mystery with international implications. Besigye's alleged abduction from Kenya has raised questions about territorial sovereignty and the complicity of regional governments. Critics, including his lawyer Erias Lukwago, argue that Kenya's failure to act against Uganda's violation of its territorial integrity signals a worrying precedent. The government of Uganda violated the territorial integrity of Kenya, Lukwago stated passionately. We demand an explanation from Kenyan authorities and accountability for this breach of sovereignty. Kenya's government has distanced itself from the incident. Erias Lukwago, the permanent secretary for foreign affairs, denied any knowledge of the operation, stating that Besigye's visit to Kenya was personal and uncoordinated with the Kenyan government. However, Kenya's human rights organizations have expressed alarm. The Kenya National Human Rights Commission, KNHRC, called the act the dangerous erosion of Kenya's image as a safe haven for political dissidents. Voices from the people. Many Ugandans and Kenyans have shared their outrage and concerns over Besigye's arrest. Wide Real News gathered reactions from citizens on both sides of the border. Sharon Otieno, a Kenyan activist: if our government allows such abductions, no one is safe. Kenya should never be a playground for foreign governments violating human rights. Joseph Mukosa, a Ugandan student: this is Museveni's regime silencing anyone who dares challenge them. Besigye is just the latest target. Brian Otieno, a journalist in Nairobi: Kenya's neutrality is in question. This case is a test of our country's commitment to upholding justice and human rights. The Pan-African Opposition Leaders Solidarity Network has condemned the incident, calling it a threat to democratic freedoms in Africa. A history of resistance. Kizza Besigye is no stranger to controversy. Once President Museveni's personal doctor, he became one of his fiercest critics. Having contested and lost 4 presidential elections, Besigye has consistently alleged electoral fraud and voter intimidation. Over the years, he has been arrested numerous times, survived an assassination attempt, and endured physical abuse, including being sprayed with pepper spray during protests. Besigye's critics argue that he has provoked authorities, while his supporters view him as a champion of democratic reforms. The legal battle ahead. Besigye and his co-accused have been remanded to Luzira prison until December 2nd, awaiting further proceedings. The court charges include claims of negotiating for arms in Geneva, Athens, and Nairobi. However, his legal team is pushing back against the military court's jurisdiction. This is a civilian case, Lukwago reiterated. Besigye is not a member of the armed forces. He belongs in a civilian court. This isn't the first time Besigye's political party, the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has faced such challenges. 4 months ago, 36 FDC members were arrested in Kenya, handed over to Ugandan authorities, and charged with treason. Protests and public outcry. Across Uganda, Besigye's detention has sparked protests, particularly among youth groups demanding his release. Kampala streets have seen a surge in demonstrations, with protesters accusing the government of suppressing political opposition. One protester, 23-year-old Evelyn Nokoto, said, "Besigye's arrest shows how far this government will go to silence us. We will not stop until we see justice." In Kenya, human rights organizations are organizing rallies to pressure the government to clarify its role in Besigye's disappearance. A broader reflection on East Africa. This incident highlights a growing trend of forced deportations and political crackdowns across East Africa. Critics say such actions undermine the region's stability and violate international human rights norms. The saga of Kizza Besigye's arrest raises critical questions about sovereignty, justice, and the future of democracy in East Africa. Will Kenya and Uganda provide the transparency demanded by their citizens and international observers? Or will this be yet another episode of impunity? For Besigye, his family, and his supporters, the fight for justice continues. Thank you for staying with Wide Real News. If you found this report insightful, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay informed. Let's keep amplifying stories that matter.